Hey guys, and welcome to episode 55 of One Team, One Dream Into the Woods. My name is James, and on today's episode we have the summary of the summer transfer window, followed by our first game in our second season in League One as we welcome Huddersfield to Meadow Park. And obviously since the last episode we've had the summer transfer window where I've had full pre-season with the guys. We've also recruited well, I feel, over the summer, bringing in more depth into the squad than we had before and plugging a few gaps. But let's get straight into the transfers for the summer. Now, very much like my usual transfer window, there has been a horde of trialists coming in and out of the club pretty much for the entire summer. I think we may still have one or two even at the club at this point. If we start with the outs, the mass clearing of fringe players started back at the beginning of June. So Igor's was the first to go. He went for £950 to Boston. Will Reedy went as well for 2k. Will Tizard went on a free to Kettering. Neil Armstrong, one of our backup youngster goalkeepers, went to Salford for £1,000. John Hancock, who never really made it into the side after joining the club, went for £1,500. Dion Jones has gone out on loan again to File, try and get a little bit more experience. However, based on his star ratings, his potential ability, I'd say he's probably just going to see how his contract there. Next was Connor Masterson. We knew he was going to be going anyway. He was trying to force his way out the club. He's ended up in Livingston in the Scottish Premier League. So we got what he wanted, which was top flight football. He went for £99,000. So he played for half a season and we made £49,000 profit on him. Not too bad at all, but that did mean I was going to have to try and bring in a new defender. And ticking over to the new season, Paul England went back out on loan. Hazeman went for £37,500 to Lincoln. Bob Baggeridge went for almost £16,000. Matt Graham went to Swansea for £62,000. This one baffles me a little bit because he's only got a 37 scout rating, 2-ish star current ability, 3.5-ish potential ability, not even in the top couple of youngsters when it comes to our midfielders. So why Swansea? Swansea have obviously seen something in him we didn't, so they were happy to pay £62,000 for him. And then Mark Stewart, Mthembu and Kennedy have also gone out on loan to Telford and Wildstone down in the National League. So we cleared out a fair number of fringe players. So it was a case of not only bringing in players who I think are going to improve the squad, but also players who are obviously going to be options for backup. Now, the first signing that we confirmed actually this summer was in fact Alex Osho, who we agreed a contract extension for. However, Tottenham wanted us to pay £3,500 of his wages. I agreed to it initially, but based on the transfers we've made this summer, I didn't feel it was necessary. I felt we were tying up a lot of our wage budget in one player when we had similar players, not necessarily in terms of potential, but in terms of current ability at the squad. So once his 28 days were up, I returned him back to Tottenham. So the first player that came in was Jamie Nicol. Jamie Nicol is another option, another reason why I allowed Osho to go back to Tottenham, was because this guy's come in. We're only paid £625, 3-star current ability, 5-star potential ability, in on loan from Dundee United. He is fourth currently in the pecking order when it comes to midfielders, but with Yeats actually being a striker, that makes him kind of third on the list to come in when needed. The first proper transfer is Kai Ugbo. He's an 18-year-old English central defender / right back. But based on his height, I think he'd be more of a centre back. But based on his lack of ability to header or tackle, makes me think that he'd be more suited at right back. But he can play both options. 1.5-star current ability, 4.5-star potential ability. A Chelsea youngster who was dropped after 2 seasons with them. So he comes in to fill out our backup options. Next was Scott Reddy from Man United, another ex-Premier League youngster, this time right midfielder, 2-star current ability, a full 5-star potential ability, only in on £250 a week. This guy is I'm extremely excited about as a promising youngster out on that right-hand side, especially when really out there at the moment we only have Alibiosu. Next was our first paid-for player. Nathan Holland is a 27-year-old Barbadian who is a left midfielder, inverted winger, 3-star current ability, 3.5-star potential ability. The coaches say that he could possibly improve, but he is currently a good player for Sky Bet League One sides. So he comes in as one of our main options out on that left-hand side. Purchased him for £73,000 from newly relegated Doncaster, who are now down in League Two. They've had a bit of an exodus this summer, and so we've kind of picked up what I think hopefully is going to be a very exciting option out on that left-hand side. He is also still a current Barbadian international with 10 caps and 2 goals for Barbados. And so having an official international in the side is definitely something that is new to this squad. Next, another freebie. Billy Martin is an 18-year-old Scottish right back, 2-star current ability, 4.5-star potential ability. He has the potential to be a Sky Bet Championship right back. He, like many of the free trialists we've brought in, has come as a ex-Premier League academy boy from Manchester United. So he is another option that we are looking to develop. And finally, before the season ticked over, this one was a little bit of a punt, and I have spent a significant amount of money on this player. Bobby Thomas, 24-year-old English centre-back, 3-star current ability, 4-star potential ability, 6'2", has come in to be one of our to replace Connor Masterson at centre-back. So we now have Tricker, Kirk and Thomas as our 3 options centre-back. He is on £3,000 a week, and it cost us £180,000. FC Metz must have seen us coming from a mile off. They purchased him from Burnley last season for £160,000. Didn't even play a game with them, and we've now just given them 20 grand profit. So I'm hoping I don't regret that. But we had a fair bit of money in the bank based on the amount of players we've sold over the summer. And so I wanted to splurge a little bit of money, but unfortunately found it very difficult to actually spend money on decent players. There seemed to be a bit of a gap. You either had free transfer players who are either very young or very old, and the very old players wanted a lot of money, or anyone who was decent and willing to transfer was going to cost significantly more than we actually had. So with the season ticking over, our final 4 transfers. Luis Fiorini, who was with us last year on loan, has come in now on a permanent transfer. 3-star current ability, 3.5-star potential ability. He is more than likely going to be our starting playmaker in central midfield, along with Adebayi. As when he was on loan, he came in from Derby. Derby actually didn't renew his contract, so we brought him in on a freebie. I think we've got an absolute gem there. Next up was another freebie, this time from Crewe. Jordan Lawrence Gabriel, 26-year-old English right back. This guy's come in as a backup option for Shay Charles, who we managed to extend the loan of for next season. He's got a couple of decent attributes here and there, especially things like his pace and his long throws as an option. He's very much aware he's coming in to be a backup at right back. Penultimate was another loan. Bobby Wright, we've managed to extend his loan contract for another year. So he has come on to be a backup option to Fagan and Holland out on that left-hand side. But both him and Holland can also play on the right, so they can also be backup options for Alabiosu. And then finally, Aaron Coffey from Shamrock Rovers, £6,750 English pounds. He has come in, 19-year-old Irish central midfielder, 1.5-star current ability, 3.5-star potential ability. He's not that great. He's come in and gone straight into the under-18s because, if I'm honest, I don't really see him achieving much. He hasn't come in with much more value than actually we bought him for. Shamrock Rovers, he was actually playing in the Shamrock Rovers 2 side, but unfortunately, like we've found with a number of these transfers, he scouted far better before we actually brought him in. He's only got the potential to be a Sky Bet League 2 central defender, so maybe develop him for a year and see if we can try and push him on next summer and see if we can try and make a profit. So with all that, this is a season preview. We are actually predicted to finish 6th in the table, odds of 15-2 to win the title, which fits perfectly actually with the board's club vision, which is their expectations that we're going to finish in the top half this season. Nobody in the Media Dream 11. However, I'm going to take a shot that probably our 2 key players are going to be Martel Taylor-Crossdale and John Yeats. I'm actually surprised they're not the other way around, but they are definitely going to be, and have been for the last season or 2, our most valuable players. And they are going to be the pair that are going to start today against Huddersfield. Yeats in particular was actually under offer from a couple of teams over the summer. Rotherham and Watford are still interested. He had a bit of a wobbly, got quite stroppy. I told him he wasn't going anywhere. With 3 years still left of his contract and an optional extension year as well, it's 4 years in all. I knew he wasn't necessarily going to go anywhere unless Watford or Rotherham were willing to pay for it. So I said no. He got funny. But as the summer trickled on, he got over it. Even the bid started to dry up. I think they got actually as high at one point as I think 1.2, 1.3 million, which I still rejected. And luckily the board, because we'd had some money come in with sponsorships and season tickets, they weren't as concerned about the finances. So we're happy for me to reject those deals. And now he's absolutely fine. He's now got 5 positives, no negatives. So fingers crossed, he will be fine now for the season. Only other player that had thrown a little bit of wobbly, he's still throwing a wobbly, is Ryan Alabiosu, who was been under offer from Aberdeen for most of the summer. Unfortunately, he got so much of a strop, I had to promise him I would sell him once we found a replacement. Unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on how you look at it, I've not been able to find a replacement, not for the lack of money that we've got anyway. And so I'm hoping that as the transfer window peters out, Aberdeen will disappear, lose interest, and he'll, as with Yeats, he'll get over it, and we'll be able to press on with the season. And this is the team that is going to be facing Huddersfield for the first game of the new season. Huddart in goal, a back forward Devine, Tricker, Kirk and Charles. Fiorini and Adebayi are the central midfield. Holland is debuting out on left-hand side as an inverted winger. Alabiosu, as usual, on the right, with Yeats and Taylor Crossdale up front, who will hopefully continue their run of scoring for fun this season. Right, Reddy needs a number. Let's give him number 26. He is currently going to be on the bench today, as I definitely want to try and develop him with that 5-star potential, especially if Alabiosu does end up having to go. Reddy is probably going to come straight in at that right wing position. Now pump the fists, go out there and impress me. First day of the season, first game, first opportunity to try and put a statement out there in the league. And almost straight away, Alabiosu has the ball in the Huddersfield's penalty area. Back to Adebayi. Back to Alabiosu. Back to Adebayi again. Chips it forward for Charles, who's in a little bit of space. Can he whip it into the centre? Looking for Taylor Crossdale. Taylor Crossdale's been marked by 2 players there. There was no way he was going to be able to get his shot away. But we have the corner with Devine on 21 minutes. Whipped into the centre. There's no one there. Phillips for Huddersfield has an easy time of clearing the ball. But Devine manages to be first to collect the ball. Back to Fiorini. Back to Devine. Back to Fiorini. Can we build something now with Holland out on that left-hand side? First opportunity on an episode to show you what he's really about. Nice ball out wide to Alabiosu. Charles, though, really should be on the overlap, but he managed to find Fiorini, who loses the ball. Charles needed to be overlapping there. Give Alabiosu an option out on that right-hand side. But now Huddersfield looking to come forward. With lap side, with Phillips. Phillips from range. Chips, hits the post. Huddart looked like he had it covered, but he hits the woodwork and goes out for a goal kick. Just as I'm about to encourage the players. Huddart to Tricker, to Fiorini, back to Tricker, to Kirk. Big chip forward, looking for Martel Taylor Crossdale. Managed to bring it down for Fiorini. To Yeats, first opportunity we have to see him so far today. Holland with the ball out wide. Holland loses the ball. That is twice now that he's had the ball, and we've lost it almost straight away afterwards. Tricker, nice 1-2 with Adebayi. Back to Tricker, back to Adebayi, to Fiorini. To Adebayi, to Taylor Crossdale. Out wide to Alabiosu. Charles again not on the overlap, but Alabiosu manages to find a little bit of space. He's got a man marking though. Into the centre to Taylor Crossdale. Two opportunities at the bites at the cherry there. Unfortunately, both were blocked, and Huddersfield have managed to clear it yet again. Right, we have a throw in with Devine on the left-hand side. Holland, come on Holland, try and do something with the ball this time. Passes it to Fiorini. Fiorini's in a little bit of space. Chips out wide to Charles. Now he's on the overlap. Managed to find some space. One on one. 1-2 with Adebayi to Taylor Crossdale to Yeats, who misses the goal net. You'd expect him to hit the target from that angle. Murphy now with the corner for of Huddersfield just before half-time. His header is blocked, and luckily his shot goes well wide of the post. But that was a key opportunity there for Huddersfield to try and get a goal before half-time. And Yeats with the biggest opportunity so far in this half. You'd put your mortgage on him scoring from that range, but sadly it was not to be. Charles with the throw-in. To Adebayi, back to Charles, back to Adebayi, to Kirk, to Tricker. I say Adebayi hasn't really created much so far in that central midfield space in the playoff and the playmaker role. May have to switch him with Fiorini, see if Fiorini can provide something a little bit more creative in that central midfield space. Lauren with the ball, to Cooney, looking to come for a ball through. Tucker is quickest to collect the ball though. He managed to telegraph that, and that was another tackle. Emmanuel's on a booking. He is getting sent off, and they are down to 10 men. This is a key opportunity now for us to surely be able to take this game by the scruff of the neck. Yeats hasn't had a very good game today. Take him off, bring Fagan on. With Holland now to play on that left-hand side, that frees up Fagan to now be a backup option for Yeats and Taylor Crossdale. We'll go to a positive mentality. We really should be able to take the game by the scruff of the neck now, where they're down to 10 men, who they're pretty much going to sit behind the ball. Going to encourage the players as well. But with 20 minutes left to play, we've definitely had the lion's share of this game, but I've done absolutely nothing with it. But Huddart have a throw-in on the right-hand side with Cooney to Walker. Walker with a little bit of space. Back out to Cooney. He's got loads of space now. Back to Walker. Trying to get into the penalty area. Tries to look for, I'm not sure who he was going after, but Alebiosu manages to clear it from Fagan to Taylor Crossdale. Taylor Crossdale's shot is blocked. I don't think we've actually had a proper shot on target on a highlight yet. Into the centre, Taylor Crossdale at the back post. We saw him score one like that in the playoffs, but unfortunately he misses wide right of the post this time. Devine with a free kick at the back post to Tricker, to Fagan, who puts it in for his first goal and our first goal of the season. And the deadlock is broken with only 9 minutes left. Devine with a whipped cross into the centre. Tricker headers it to the back post. Fagan just sticks a toe out, puts it into the back of the net. And hopefully we now are going to be able to record our first win of the season. Right, going to switch. We've got a couple of tired legs. Holland isn't having a very good game, unfortunately. So we're going to bring Daly on to that left-hand side. Switch him to his favoured winger role. Alebiosu is also struggling. So I'm going to bring on Scott ready for his first appearance. And we're actually going to swap Fiorini and Adebayo around, just to see if it makes any difference. Stop with Fiorini, who's struggling for fitness as well. We'll give Adebayo an opportunity to run that box-to-box role. Huddersfield have a free kick with only 3 minutes left to play, whipped into the penalty area. Luckily, it was over everyone's heads, and Huddart clutches the ball down to his right-hand side, hoofs the ball forward, manages to find Daly for his first touch since coming on, runs into the penalty area. Can he get a crossing? Goes past his man, takes a shot himself instead. He had several options in the penalty area. I don't think that was the best option, but don't begrudge him if he saw an opportunity to try and score. And with time ticking down, I don't think it's going to make a difference anyway. We get away with a 1-0 win against 10 men Huddersfield. Yeats and Holland have disappointing first appearances of the season, but pretty much everyone else played very well today, and a very professional job from the boys. A promising start. The other exciting thing as well is our attendance was 4,189 for that game, which is 1,000 more fans than we were getting on average last season, which is absolutely fantastic. Hopefully that win will inspire a number of them to come back for the next home game against Newport. And our next game on an episode is probably going to be at the end of September. I think I'm going to do the Salford and Ipswich game. Salford at home, Ipswich away. Ipswich in particular are predicted to be up with us in the playoff picture, so that will definitely be a early test to see how we fare against the team which I think were relegated out of the Championship last year. Yes, they were. And talking of ex-Championship teams that have been relegated, the next game after that is going to be Peterborough and my beloved Bristol Rovers, who we have not yet played on an episode, as they were in the Championship last season, unfortunately got relegated. So for me, that's going to be a very exciting episode to come. So hopefully we've started how we mean to go on. And if you're excited about the season ahead, please hit the like button down below. And if you're enjoying this series, don't forget, if you haven't already, to subscribe and hit the bell so you can be notified as new episodes drop. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next episode.